Hello there, Mr. Sutton here, bringing you the Algebra 2 3-4 Part 1 homework solutions on using the quadratic formula. For this problem, they want us to solve this equation using the quadratic formula. So first thing we need to check is to make sure it's in standard form. We're going ax squared, bx, and c equals 0, so we are good to go. Our a value in this one is going to be a 1, invisible 1. B value is going to be 6, and then we have 15 for our c value. So here's our quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. We're doing negative 6, and then we're going to do plus or minus square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 15 all over 2 times the a value 1. So that's negative 6 up there and 2 down there. Inside we have 36 minus 60, which is negative 24. And then we're going to try to simplify this radical a little bit, and then maybe we'll be able to reduce the fraction. So with radical negative 24, we can take out an I, and then 24 can get split up into 4 times 6. 4 is a perfect square. So this is going to be 2i radical 6. So we have negative 6 plus or minus 2i radical 6 over 2 then. And we see that since we have divisibility by 2 here, here, and down here, we can reduce everything by 2. So this is going to be negative 3 plus or minus just I radical 6. For this problem, they want us to solve the equation using the quadratic formula. Now, it looks like I could probably factor this thing and solve it pretty quickly, but we're just getting practice with the quadratic formula. So we have, first off, we want to make sure it's in standard form, which it is. We have decreasing order of exponents on one side, 0 on the other. So our a value out of all this that we're going to use in our formula, that'll be a negative 1 right here. And then we have negative 4 for the b, and our c value is 3. So here's our quadratic formula. Plugging all this stuff in now, we've got negative 4 plus or minus square root of negative 4 minus 4 times 1 times 3 all over 2 times 1. So this is going to be positive 4 up here and a 2 down there. Plus or minus square root of 16 minus 12. And that's 4 inside the square root. And we know the square root of 4 is actually 2, so we can simplify that. And let's see if we can go even further. So we can do 4 minus 2 over 2. That's one answer. And that's going to be 2 over 2, which is 1. And then we could do 4 plus 2 over 2, or 6 over 2, which gives us our other answer of 3. For this problem, we're trying to solve this one with the quadratic formula. Now, even if I wanted to, I don't think that I could factor this thing even when I move that 5 over. We are going to move the 5 over, though, because to get quadratic formula to work, you need everything on one side and 0 on the other side. So there we go. Subtract 5. Now we've got our standard form. Picking out our a, b, and c values now, we have a 1 for the x squared, 3 for the x, and then negative 5 for our constant. So here's our quadratic formula. Let's plug all this in. We have negative 3 plus or minus square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5 all over 2 times this 1 here. So that's negative 3 plus or minus a square root that we'll deal with in a minute, all over 2. This is going to be 9 inside here, minus, so that's a plus, so plus 20. So that's negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 29 over 2. And since 29 doesn't have any perfect square factors, we can't simplify this any further, so this one's just done. For this problem, they're urging us to solve this equation with the quadratic formula. So to do that, we want to make sure that we've got this zeroed out and in decreasing order of exponents. The 25x squared can stay where it is. I'll also subtract this 12x over here. Negative 8 and negative 12 gives me a 20x. And then I'll add 4 to the left side to get plus 4, and then the 0 on the right side. All right, so a quadratic formula. Now, it's always worth checking before you do this to see if you can divide by a constant and make it a little bit simpler. It doesn't look like there's one that'll give us nice whole numbers, so we'll just go ahead to the formula. And here is that formula. Well, actually, let's get the a values and b values and c values first. So 25 for our a value. This is our first problem on this homework set that didn't have an a value of 1, and we went away from that in a big way. And then we have a b value of negative 20. C value of 4. And here's our quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so we've got negative 20 plus or minus square root of negative 20 squared minus 4 times 25 times 4 all over 2 times 25. So we've got positive 20 plus or minus a square root of something that we'll figure out all over 50. So inside we've got 400 when we square that, and then we have, let's see, 4 times 25 is 100, times another 4 is 400. Oh, so minus 400. Well, all that stuff comes out to just 0 in there. So we have 20 plus or minus the square root of 0, which won't actually give us two different things. It's just 20. And then we can actually reduce 20 over 50 to just 2/5. This problem that's on the honors homework set, they want us to solve this equation with the quadratic formula. So to get this process started, I'm going to want to put this in standard form. Right now, we don't have 0 on one side, and we don't have decreasing order of exponents. Now, the fastest way to put this in standard form would just be to add 4x over here. But I don't like having negative the negative a value here, so I'm actually going to add stuff over to the right side just to make this x squared term positive. So I'm going to have a 5x squared minus the 4x that's already there, and then plus 6. All right, so now let me pick out my a, b, and c value. We've got an a value of 5, b value of negative 4, and then a c value of 6. Here's our quadratic formula. Let's plug it all in. We've got negative 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 5 times 6 all over 2 times the a value 5. So we've got positive 4 plus or minus square root of something all over 10. Inside we've got 16 minus, let's see here, this is 20 times 6, so 120. Actually, is that 120? Yeah, it is. Yep, minus 120. So this is going to come out to actually negative 104 in there, which is kind of a weird number to see in there. We're going to simplify this a little bit sort of off to the side. So I can take an I out of that to get that negative out. And then 104 is definitely divisible by 4. That would be 4 times 26, because 4 times 25 would be 4 less. So we've got 4 and 26 that I can split that up into. So then 2i radical 26 is what that gives me. Putting that back over here now, we've got 4 plus or minus 2i radical 26 over 10. 4, 2, and 10 are all divisible by 2, so I'm going to reduce all those by 2. I can't touch this 26. It's not really a 26. It's the square root of 26, so that's different. But I can do the other ones here. So we have a 2 plus or minus just 1i radical 26 all over 5.